Hello, it's Phil at DigitalDJTips.com looking at the Pioneer DDJ-SX DJ controller. This is a quick overview of the controller's hardware. There's a full review of this hardware, really long review at DigitalDJTips.com, and there's also a full review of the Serato DJ software, of which this is the first controller to use that software. At the moment, if you want to use Serato DJ software, their brand new software, this is the device that you're going to need to buy. Over the coming months, I'm recording this in the beginning of November 2012, over the coming months, this unit won't be the only one. It'll be joined by all the existing Serato compatible controllers. However, at the moment, this is your choice. So you kind of get the feeling that what happened was Serato and Pioneer sat down and they said, let's come up with a landmark controller. Let's come up with a controller that puts our flag in the sand and says, this is where we're at. End of 2012, this is where we think controllers should be. This unit takes the best of every other DJ controller that has preceded it and squashes it into one big, heavy beast of a DJ controller. There's very little that this can't do. The stuff it can't do is because the software is limiting it at the moment, and there is really everything that you find on the very best controllers, and I'm thinking controllers like the Chapter Control S4, the Vestax VCI 400, controllers that are standalone mixers, all that kind of stuff. It's all here, it's all in this unit. Let's take a little talk through, and remember, if you want to know more about either the software or the hardware, go and have a look on Digital DJ Tips for the full write-ups of both of those. So it's divided into sections. The decks are here, the effects are here, the library's here, and the mixer's down the middle. Let's take a look at the decks first. The deck has a really nice big jog wheel. It's got this centerpiece which tells you where you are on a rotation of, assuming it was a record. So that's one rotation. That's really nice. It has this dual deck thing here. Each deck controls two software decks and you can switch between them. However, dual deck locks them together. Now you're scratching two decks. And anything that you do on one, you do on the other. Really nice, unusual, not seen that on any other controller. The usual Pioneer play, pause and so on. This section here is straight out of Novation's Twitch. It's got hot cues, rolls, slicer and sampler. It's all in the review if you want to know more about what these things do. It's well implemented. It's a shameless borrow, but then again, they're not the first people to do it. Vestax did it with the VCI 380 as well. Here we have the loop section, auto and manual looping, and that's the decks. The effects sections at the top are a little bit disappointing in version 1.0 of Serato DJ software in that you can only have one effect here and one effect here. They're very nice effects, but you still only get one effect. These control the individual parameters of the effects, and this is a beat controller that controls how quickly the effect cycles. And then you can switch the effect to whichever channel you want. So effect 1 can be on any of the channels and effect 2 can be on any of the channels as well. Kind of a nice time to move to the mixer. The mixer is down the middle. Feels like a slightly squashed Pioneer installation mixer. Same kind of quality, even the same components such as the switches for crossfader. And it's very nice. It's a full standalone mixer. Around the back here you can plug in CDJs, you can plug in vinyl, microphones. They'll all work without the USB plugged in. They'll just work. Around the very front here, there are switches that let you switch between those various inputs. Again, it's seamless, it just works. You won't crash your software by doing any of that stuff. In fact, you can take the USB out and put it in again, and you won't crash your software. It's ultra stable. Really nice metering on the mixer. Each channel has its own VU meter. There's one of them. And there's also a big master meter up the middle. This is independent of the metering that's within Serato, so you have a real control over the metering, no excuses for driving stuff into the red with this controller. Compared to cheaper controllers, that's a big area where this one wins. The library section at the top lets you switch using this big knob through all the different tracks in your current folder. You can switch folders, you can switch views to make it easier to look at your library or your decks, and then you can use these big buttons at the top to load onto the various decks. So the other point about this controller, other than the fact that it's kind of squashed in everything that you could possibly expect to find in a DJ controller, is that they're not aiming at the portable controller market. Look, it's big and it's heavy. They're not aiming at that market at all. This controller is really designed for the transportable controller market, throwing it in your car, leaving it at a venue where you DJ a lot, that kind of thing. But also it's perfect if you're the home DJ looking for the ultimate hybrid controller to have that's really flexible, really high quality, it's got great sound, that will allow you to use decks, CDJs, do some talkovers, you can do radio shows on it, and also use all your software seamlessly. It's high quality, it's an aspirational thing, but another thing I really liked about it was the fact that it's not over expensive. This thing is only a couple of $100, maybe £100 more than a Traktor S4. Both controllers come with great software. It's up to you to decide which software you like the best. But if you are thinking of buying something like this or another expensive controller, such as the Traktor S4, bear in mind that those two models do come with their own software. And it's great to look at the upgrade fee of software before you make your mind up, because you might find that if you're thinking, oh, I can't afford a cheaper controller, if in the end you're going to buy the upgraded software anyway, then really you can either take that money off the price you're paying up front for one of these, or add it on the price of the cheaper ones when you're making your decision. Because really, this is the most complete DJ controller that I've seen to date. There's a few things I didn't like about it. I didn't like the fact that these decks aren't mirror images. Some controls are never mirrored, but they're not kind of like, so for instance, that and that are exactly the same. That means that this tempo control is tucked in here. This one's easy to get to. This one, not so much so. You might jog the jog wheel by mistake when you're going for the tempo. I didn't like that. I didn't like the fact that the spin back isn't very realistic. You take your hand off when you're spinning back, and the jog wheel just stops. It's the same on the Traktor Control S4, I'll show you. I'll go a little bit further into the record. In fact, let's spin forward instead. Watch. It just stops. Now, a record deck would give a spin or two there, depending on your slip mats and how quickly you did it. I'd rather this had some kind of weighting control on it, so you can choose how much you want that to spin when you take your hand off it. They're only small things, but they're worth mentioning. So there you have it, the Pioneer DDJ-SX. It's only a quick overview. Go to the website for the full review. Thanks for watching.